Hey guys, Coach Jason. Welcome back. So my last video I went over race simulation workouts for the 800 and the 1500 and the mile. Today I want to continue doing race simulation workouts for the 3K/2 mile and the 5K. Okay, workouts that you can do to simulate a race environment as much as possible to see how ready you are or how ready your athletes are for the race, especially if they have a race coming up in a week or 10 days or something like that, or in an environment like this where there's no racing going on right now and it's kind of unpredictable as to what's going to happen over the next couple of months or year. This is a way of testing yourself or testing your athletes. Now, obviously, you want to be training consistently along the way, because that's the only way you're going to have a really good, accurate indicator of how ready they are, how ready you are. But I still want to go over some simulation workouts. And these are workouts that I've used on athletes over the last 20 years as a coach. I was a former competitor as well at the high school, college, and post-college level, and I coached at all three levels as well. These are workouts that I've used or versions of them. The reason why I say versions of them is because people have individualized needs. So you can modify something on the front end and the back end to accommodate strengths and weaknesses. So because there's no one-size-fits-all training program or model. If you give everybody the same thing, not everybody's going to respond the same way. So it's important as a coach to identify what he or she needs here, where they might be, where I might need to tinker with training. So, and these workouts give you an opportunity to do stuff like that. So, let's start with the 3K and the 2 mile side, okay? And these simulate a race environment in a very aggressive way, okay? First one, you do a mile at your goal race pace, okay? And let's just say a 10-minute 2 mile, okay, which is let's make it an even number. So you're going to run a mile in 5 minutes, okay? And if your goal is to run a 10-minute 2 mile, you should be able to run a mile in practice at goal pace, okay? If you're fit. Then you take a 6-minute active recovery. Recovery period should always be active to keep the heart rate up, okay? And then you're going to do 6 by 400 meter efforts on the back end with a 1-minute recovery at your goal 2 mile pace or slightly faster. So you're looking at 75, maybe work your way down to 73 or 72 if you can, to simulate accelerating at that pace or continuing at that pace or picking it up when you're fatigued after running that hard mile. Again, it's not a ton of volume, 2.5 miles worth of total running, but you should be able to run that much at goal pace or slightly under, okay? That's one. Number two, if maybe you're fitter or more experienced athletes, and you go from a mile, you do a 2K, 2,000 meters or 5 laps on an outdoor track at your goal race pace, okay? So again, if it's a 10-minute 2 mile, you're looking at 5 minutes, you're looking at 6:15 for the 2 kilometers, okay, which is 75 seconds per lap. Take that same 6-minute active recovery, and then on the back end, you do 7 times 300 meters with a 100-meter jog at goal pace or faster. So if the 75 seconds, you're looking at 56, maybe 57, work your way down to maybe 53, 54, okay, which is the same thing as 71, 72 second pace for 400, okay. Again, I shorten the reps here because the front rep is a little bit longer, okay. Second, okay, a third one I should say, broken into pieces now. 2 sets of 1,200 meters, 800 meters, 400 meters. Okay, this is a little bit over distance. It's a total of 1.5 miles times 2, so 3 miles of running, but it's broken into pieces and not all the reps are long, so you can do 3 miles worth of running at some point, as opposed to maybe doing 5 by 1,200 meters or 4 by 1,200 meters at 2 mile pace, which is a more intense workout, okay? But here, you do the 1,200 meter effort at 3K pace or 2 mile pace, all right? So again, 3:45, let's say. Then you take a 3-minute active recovery. Then you do 800 meter effort at mile pace. So if your mile is 4:40, you're looking at 2:20, okay? And then you take a 2-minute recovery, okay? Then you do a 400 meter effort at about 800 meter pace. So if it's 2:10 or whatever, 65 or 2:04, 62, or whatever it is. And then after the 400 meter effort, you take a 6-minute active recovery. You repeat that set again, second time, okay? And as the reps get shorter, the pace gets faster, okay? This is a great way of simulating race readiness too, because the slowest thing you're going to be doing is at your goal 2 mile pace, okay? And lastly, this one's a little bit more intense one, okay? 800 meters, 1,600 meters, 800 meters, okay? 800 meters is that goal 2 mile pace, say so 2:30, and then you run the 5-minute mile in the middle to simulate a little bit different. This is going out and holding. This is running that middle part. This is a part where sometimes people fall asleep and aren't ready to transition for the last couple laps. and which gives other people an opportunity to make a move or create a gap or whatever it is, or win races. So you do an 800, and then you do a mile or 1600-meter effort in the middle at 5 minutes. And then in the back end, you do another 800-meter effort at goal pace or slightly faster. So 2:30 or 2:25, or something like that. 2-minute recovery after both reps, okay? That's the workout. This is a good one of doing maybe 10 days out to really simulate how ready they are or how ready you are, all right? So those are 2-mile, 3K workouts. Let's move over to 5K, all right? First one, 1.5 miles, essentially half the 5K, okay? Or 6 laps on a track, 2,400 meters at race pace, okay? So same thing. If the goal is 5-minute pace, which is about 15:35, 1.5 miles, you're looking at about 7:30, okay, for the 1.5 mile effort. Take a 6-minute active recovery, and then on the back end, you do 6 by 600 meters with a 200-meter jog recovery after each one at 5K pace. So in this case, it's 151 to 152 if it's 5 minutes per mile, and you work your way down to 3K pace. So you might go from 152 down to 148, something like that. Okay, which is about 9 minutes for 3K. All right, 72 seconds per lap. So you're working your way down from 75 to 72. And a 200-meter active recovery. And this is a great way of doing a little bit longer reps after being fatigued, after doing this, but it helps simulate on the back end doing more stuff to maintain that pace, okay, or slightly accelerate, okay. Next one, progress from 1.5 miles to 3 kilometers. Another great workout to do about 10 days out, maybe for your fitter, more experienced athletes. 3K at your goal pace. So if the goal is 5 minutes per mile, you're looking at about 9:20-ish for your 3K. 6-minute active recovery again, and then on the back end, 5 by 500 meters. Since this rep's longer, I cut the rep down. 5 times 500 meters with a 100-meter jog at 5K down to 3K pace. Okay, and it's a total of what? 2,500 meters, and it's a little over 5K, 5,500 meters. Okay, this one, 3,600. 2,400, 6,000 meters worth of running. It's a little bit over distance, but since the reps are long and short, you should be able to handle that. Okay. Next one, 10 to 12 by 500 meters. Okay, long distance, but this is a good workout actually with a 100-meter jog recovery at your goal 5K pace. Okay. Just be banging out and banging out. It's different than 400s. Okay, but you could also progress up to 600s. The fitter you become, and then you work up to 800s and so on. This is a great odd distance to do at your goal race pace. Okay, again, which would be if it's 75 seconds, 30 seconds, 18. So you're looking at maybe 133 or 132 around there for your 500-meter efforts. Continuous, and your 100-meter jog should take no longer than a minute. Okay, and lastly, kind of a similar workout that we talked about in the 3K. This is a way of doing the long part in the middle. So you do a 1,200-meter effort at goal pace, okay, 3:45, let's say. Take a 2-minute active recovery. Then you do your 1.5-mile effort in the middle. Okay, that's 7:30 effort in the middle. Then you take a 2-minute active recovery, and then you do another 1,200 on the back end. Okay, at 3:40, and work your way down to 3:40 if you can. Okay, slightly faster. You take a 1-minute active recovery, and then you finish off with a fast 200-meter effort. Okay, as fast as you possibly can to simulate kicking that last 200 meters. That's a total of 5K running. Okay, 5 kilometers of running. This is another great race simulation workout as well. So let me know what you think of this. Okay, if you enjoyed this, if you like this, if you found it useful or helpful, please hit the thumbs up. If you want more good content in terms of fully detailed training programs and so on, make sure you hit the subscribe button, okay, and hit the bell next to it so you can not only see the 100 plus videos that I put out, you won't miss what I'm going to be putting out moving forward. And I will put down below training programs for like a 3K, a 2-mile, and 5K, just so you could see, where you can plug them in. And they're detailed by the day, by the week, by the month. So if you do watch them, watch the whole thing. Okay, I always tell everybody this. Don't pause it and write things down and then skip to the next thing that you can write down. You will miss important details in between because I explain everything, what I do and why I do it. Okay, and if there's something you still don't understand, put your questions in the comments down below, and I respond to everybody. I want to have good feedback with everybody. I learn from you folks as much as you learn from me. Okay, and again, I want to make this into one of the best running channels out there. So, with that, hope this was helpful, and be on the lookout for the next video, so make sure you hit that notification. If you haven't yet, be safe. I'll talk to you soon.